Hey.
Hey, you guys, and welcome to the final episode of Good Children.
Yeah.
We've made it.
We've made it.
It's been a long, hard 6.5 months, but...
6 weeks in our hearts.
And now we're ready for retirement.
Yeah.
And I feel...
the longest nap of our lives.
Quite possibly the deepest slumber I have ever experienced is just around ending record.
Because the thing is, bears hibernate, and if we've learned anything about us in 6 months, we're bears.
We're bears,
So,
and it's time to hibernate.
It's time to hibernate.
It's literally hibernation season. It's like depression season. It's
so
like dark out right now, and it's 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Like.
The depression season is really going to hit at the time where we're not doing this podcast, which is honestly going to be quite concerning, but pretty good for us.
Listen, it's been a concern since May.
You're right.
When did we start this? May. Yeah, it's been pretty concerning the whole time.
The fact that we started in May, I can't think.
We started in May. When you look back at those videos, this is almost like, you know, those episodes of a show where like they look like they're like, oh my god, remember that time when we ordered all that pizza?
Yeah.
And they like show the scene. Like that's
Yeah.
what I feel like is about to happen right now.
I agree.
It actually feels like a series finale.
Yeah. No,
and just to be clear, it's not
at all.
That was a joke.
Yeah. That was a joke?
Listen, it's contingent. It's contingent upon a few key items, key details in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
When you look back at those early episodes, it feels like we were actually little Twinkie children.
We looked exactly like Twinkie children. Yeah.
Like I was
like I was in
clean
college.
shaven. I had a middle part.
I had a poof.
You had a full. That was your Dear Evan Hansen.
That was my
wig.
Dear Evan Hansen. I decided to wear a polo, and the rest is history.
You'll never
now I'm
escape
being
it.
asked at Funny Girl if I like theater.
Do you like musical theater?
And then I'm like, yeah. I mean, yeah, I do like musical theater.
Has anyone ever told you look like Ben Platt?
Oh, no, actually, yeah, I get that sometimes.
I almost just threw up.
Did you?
Yeah, no, it's been a tough couple of minutes because Taylor Swift just dropped like, I would say 3,000 new items in her merch store, and I did spend around like $dollars on it.
Yeah.
And then I
Are you
also
gonna bleep that out?
Maybe. It might be bleeped. And I texted my loved ones with other things to buy me, and then like actually in the Taylor Swift Police Academy, which is the group chat that I have of just Swifties who truly keep updated on every possible move she makes. It was almost like a secret Santa of sorts. People were throwing around items, being like, "Someone buy this for me."
You were giving budgets. You were like, "Okay, I'm budgeting this much for your
Christmas I was
gift."
calling to Jill in the other room, saying, "I'm giving you 50 to 100."
I think it's kind of. I do think the time of release was a tough time of day because
3 p.m. on a Friday.
Well, I mean, by the time the carts, everything was checked out. By the time that it's dark out,
it was
the energy shifted completely from
you
checked out.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the way that she thinks does usually result in my immediate bankruptcy.
Yes,
and
a low balance. But you didn't get a low balance alert.
No, listen. I have like a couple more dollars left before the low balance alert hits me this week, but I have a feeling I will see one this upcoming weekend, which is amazing for me. I'm looking forward to it. Have you been low bow? No, you just been declined.
Oh, I've just been declined. I'm not low bow.
You're almost too high bow.
I'm too much. Yeah, I'm too high bow, but not paying off the credit card.
Yeah.
So we're high bow, low credit score. And that's honestly...
one thing about us, we have the lowest credit scores known to man.
I've been thinking about this, like, when our leases...
No,
we're not going to get approved for an apartment. Because what is our job?
We have no income. We have no job. We have no credit score. We have no... I have no... I can't get like a letter of recommendation. I have no letterhead of proof of employment.
No, at all. I'm gonna have to fake it. I'm gonna have to be your reference.
You're gonna be my reference.
Yeah, they're gonna say this is my no, this is my coworker.
Yeah,
like,
actually.
Hey, like you guys don't get it. Like we're onto something.
We're onto something. Just give us 3 years.
We have a Patreon.
You need to value us at what we will be and not what we are right now, so we can please pay for this apartment.
Like, don't you see the ballots on Patreon? Like that's what they're like. That's all you have. We're like, yes,
yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something else. Oh, should we talk about the barrel?
I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah. So first of all, Jenna Leigh, I'm so sorry that I'm back in this seat. Like, I know you're fucking pissed.
Jenna Slay, what we were going to do is actually lay the blanket over.
Per her request.
But it just didn't
look
work.
right. But don't worry, the new chair is coming. I got a new chair. It's on the way.
And don't even worry about them mowing us for
royal
it.
blue. Yeah, honestly, Jenna Leigh, if you want to hit me up, I'll tell you the exact balance of the new chair, and it's your fault. But now she's officially a set designer. She's credited.
Yeah, she's credited
as set designer. And Billy Bob Joe is credited as creative producer. Yeah, so everyone has gotten now involved in this, which is amazing. But Dr. Squatch from Soap Company is now also a part of the set design.
Before Dr. Squatch came, first of all, we're cleaning the apartment. Joe says to us, Joe invites multiple people over to the apartment for this.
So just for reference, I got an email. I got like a PR email last week that was like, hey, like we want to send a surprise over. Like we're from Dr. Squatch and like they're a soap company and like me and Andrew, we do need soap. And like I don't say yes to everything because like I don't want to put myself in situations where I'm uncomfortable. And like I knew that like inviting someone into our home would be a situation where I'm deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning, eyes opened, filled with dread, like it was the day I was going to prison.
You've experienced this before though at BuzzFeed, correct?
Yes, but at BuzzFeed, at least it was a workplace, and I had like my coworkers around me, and it was the exact same thing though. They were like, "We're coming. It'll be a fun moment, a photo op."
Everyone's embarrassed together.
Here
it's like, do you want to sit?
Yeah, so we didn't know who was coming. We didn't know what they were doing, but we were just praying to God for soap because we stink. And
to put it lightly,
I wake up, Dr. Squatch. I'm begging people to come over as buffers.
Everyone's like, bad news.
Yeah, sorry, I'm working. Sorry, I have a job. Was everyone's bad news? It's like, sorry, we don't fucking sit around all day and do
at
nothing.
At 11:30 a.m. you're
on a weekday.
Working.
Jill made it here, lo and behold. Mm-hmm. And then Dr. Squatch arrived, and it was so much better than I thought it was going to be because we met in the lobby.
Well, that was we weren't sure.
We were
waiting, and it was like, get your shoes.
I was lighting candles, preparing.
Like, we're gonna fuck Dr. Squatch.
I've said it before. My literal dream man is Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Like a Sasquatch.
Joe says Dr. Squatch is coming with I think 4 people. I'm like, what are we gonna do? Like, what are we doing? We go downstairs. We're filming Joe getting this PR,
and it's this barrel.
And Joe was standing 5 feet away from Dr. Squatch, and Dr. Squatch's facial expression on the mask, whatever, the head itself, it was just not giving anything. So looking at it objectively, it really was like no one was interested in being there. No one was happy.
No, but
it all worked out.
Ultimately, everyone had a good time, and we got this barrel,
and we got no soap
stuff in it. We got no soap. That's the one thing. Like, I'm really happy they gave us a bunch of interesting smelling lotions.
Yes.
And I used one, and it's dark gray. The lotion is deep gray.
Yeah, I love that.
Sludgy vibes.
Love that.
But there's no soap.
But cookies.
A bandana. And again, this barrel that is going to become an integral part of Good Children. Like, I'm obsessed with this fucking barrel.
Little did they know.
Like, this changed my life.
Yep.
It's really sweet. And look,
Good Children wine.
Yeah.
Good wine. Oh, geez.
Oh my God.
I can't do this anymore.
No, this is the last episode.
This is the last.
Sorry, just like all of my buttons are unbuttoned, but you can't see that.
You were thinking about Squatchy?
Yeah, I was
thinking. Squatchy Crotchy?
No, like, would you not fuck Bigfoot?
Joe, I think we've said this before. Yes.
It was like the same question.
It was like our first episode. Is it coming full circle?
Have we ever talked about like cryptids? Because that'd be a fun episode to do.
I'm not sure.
We should.
We've definitely talked about this, the energy that's entered this space before.
Yeah, but I would like to do like, would you fuck Mothman? Like, would you fuck Bigfoot? Like, would you fuck the Loch Ness monster? Sure. Anyway,
Good Children. And you know what? On the last episode,
we finally nailed it.
We finally
got it, you guys. Hey guys, and welcome back to Good Children, the podcast where hosts Joe Hegyes
and Andrew Muscarella
reflect on our 25 years of
Oh my god.
We
were friends out of the womb.
Wait, 21?
Yeah.
Reflect on our 21 years of friendship, growing up in the late 2000s, early 2010s, and all of the nostalgia, trauma, and confessions of a teenage drama queen that entails.
Oh my gosh, let's hear it from New York.
There was a girl I knew who always
Keys?
wanted to be the one to stand out in a crowd. I don't know the rest of the song.
Wait, why was I stunned?
Doubters, non-believers, once all were dreamers. One of these days, you're going to open up your mind and you'll realize that girl was a wild child, teenage drama queen. Actor, everything you want to be. Did we ever see this movie?
I don't know if I've seen this movie. No, I've seen this movie so many times. I never knew what you would say.
Yeah, that was
I kind of always
really ad-libs.
Because it was the comfort of singing it with other people, and like specifically that song that like someone's gonna fill in the blanks.
Yeah,
I feel like that's me all the time when I sing. I'm like,
yeah. Sometimes you say some things, and I'm pretty surprised.
Pretty surprised.
I'm pretty shocked.
But again, if you think about it as a creative interpretation, I think that sometimes it's pretty incredible what this mind can do. But you do always put me in place.
Sometimes I appreciate that. I just want to tell you so that you don't do those things in front of other people. Yeah. I'm like, it's like as your mother vibes, you know. I'm like, if that's my mom was always like, if I can't tell you, no one will. Yeah. And she's always like, so don't wear those pants again. You have
been mothering me, honestly, like to my benefit.
It's been a mutual mothership. It has. Like literally, Patty and Carol have. Yes.
Yeah, Patty and Carol have like,
they've taken over our bodies. Yeah. So yeah, what are we talking about this week?
Today we're talking about, I think, our lives, like going into New York as children, are experienced now through the lens of Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen.
So I'm going to let everyone know this is Andrew's episode. This is you've creatively pitched the episode.
Because we had no idea what we were going to do.
So I'm ready to go along for this ride.
All right, Joe. When was your first time that you remember going into the city?
Alone?
Let's say not alone first.
I don't remember the first time. Honestly, I hate to say it. I hate to bring it up out of the gate, but 9/11.
Jeez.
I hate to bring up 9/11, but that's the earliest memory I have of New York. Before I accidentally start a rumor that I was in New York for 9/11, I was visiting my grandmother in Queens days later. That's the whole story.
So it's starting dark.
That we started that low.
It's starting dark.
Sorry that you asked that question.
Yeah, I know. I am sorry that I asked that question.
But then, I mean, obviously, I was very spooked.
Yeah.
Everyone who was like born like mid alive for like we were alive, but like I would say we were like barely mid alive. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was still developmental stages, but like I was very afraid of the city as a result of that growing up. And my dad worked in the city, and I was ready for round two at all times. I was ready. Every plane I heard, I was like, here we go again. Here we go again. Like, sincerely.
You were living in fear.
Yeah, in a crazy way. So honestly, when I talk about 9/11, it's me coping. You know what I mean? I'm coping with my trauma.
And you've been coping for 21 years. 20 years.
Andrew.
Right? I can't do math.
What year is it?
19 years.
Andrew, what?
Since 9/11?
What are you saying?
You said you've been coping since that moment.
What the fuck?
What was the sentence?
What year did 9/11 happen?
2001.
Okay.
21 years. It's 2022.
You just said three different things.
Because you challenged me on the first one.
You said 20. What was his first one?
You said 20 and then 19.
Yeah.
So 21 years.
19 is a nuts one.
I was like, were you 6? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been coping. But then I got really into the city when I was like, oh my God, like I'm gay. Once
you're like, this is my moment.
Yeah, like late high school, I guess. Like suddenly the cool kids would like hang out in this city. And like I went to school with kids who lived in this city and who would commute to St. Anthony's. And I was always like, those are the coolest kids in the entire world, and I want to be just like them. Mm-hmm. So that I think is where things really took off for me. And then like we can get into like our first times.
I feel like I feel like especially when I meet people from different states, it's like such a flex, and I'm like, yeah, I grew up by this city. It's the city.
It is the city.
It's
like
the
you can't
city.
Like no one's saying the city. And
you're not saying
like
New
Toronto.
York City. You're saying no. I'm going to the city.
The city. Yeah.
Like I'm sorry.
The city. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
There are songs about New York, New York. I'm spreading the news. New York.
Start spreading the news. I do think that like we are teetering on the next Rat Pack. Like I do think that's us.
I agree.
I think it just makes a lot of sense.
I agree. We were going into the city often together, I think.
You're pushing it.
We were going into the city non-stop
You're
to go
like
to concerts.
rewriting the narrative. Like
Joe, I went into the city.
I was going into the city with Frank and Sarah multiple times a week.
The thing is about me, I wasn't going into the city that often. The only people that I were going to the city was with you.
Right. It was not nonstop.
It was nonstop. To me, that's nonstop. 4 times, nonstop. I couldn't. My legs needed to recover for
I could
6
walk
months.
and walk and walk and walk.
But
That's
once
all
I got
did.
back to Massapequa,
Forget about
you
it.
couldn't catch me dead leaving my house.
No. Driving 1 block. No,
To
I
the
would.
supermarket being like, oh.
That's something that I think is insane about like Long Island. I mean, any suburban town is like the fact that you can't walk and the fact that I feel weird walking.
Yeah.
I'll be walking and I'm like, I'm a freak and everyone thinks I'm weird for walking down the street right
Everyone's
now.
watching me.
Everyone's like, why is that man walking down the street? Doesn't he have a fucking car? Like, what a fucking loser. Why is he walking to Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah.
Again, I hate to bring up The Great Gatsby.
Bring up their Great Gatsby.
But again, that's another moment for me. Like that in high school too. I was like, oh, like New York is where culture is. Like
Yeah.
New York is where dreams are
and
made.
everyone's thinking it.
And so is Lady Bird, you know? Same thing. Lady Bird also was like, I need to move to New York. Like,
And Lola was like, why the fuck am I leaving New York? Why am I going to New Jersey?
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I hate to say it, Taylor Swift, Welcome to New York. She had the
That
same experience.
song.
That song.
I say what you want to say about that song, but when I'm driving over the Verrazano Bridge, come on.
How often is that
Often.
happening?
That's happened in my life pretty often, and by pretty often, 3 times. I do feel like every single time that we would go into the city, you would help me get away from it, but I would take the train to Penn Station, immediately go to Times Square. I feel like the city for me was Times Square.
Ew.
I know.
That is what you would do, honestly. You would, like, people would
Absolutely.
come to visit and you'd be like, we're going to
In
Times
Times
Square.
Square.
Yeah, that was always fucking nuts to me.
I agree.
No, yeah. I really do believe I grew up as a Lola to a T. It was like counterculture.
But also on a farm. So let's...
Yeah. No, these are 2 separate situations.
Okay.
I did grow up on a farm. Everyone knows that. That's literally why I'm dressed like this. I'm wearing the hat
That you
of
got
the
from the
farm I
farm.
grew up on. This is literally the Christmas tree farm I
farm.
grew up on.
Yeah.
That, again, why else would I be dressed like this?
Yeah.
But I grew up as a Lola in the sense that, like, I needed to be counterculture to everything. I needed to, like, be cooler than everyone, like, even if, like, no one was seeing it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, I was 14 being, like, literally Times Square is so embarrassing. Like, you have to go to Union Square. And, like, that was, like, my big flex is, like, once I got into, like, definitely into college, I was, like, my whole thing was just going to Union Square and going to like the Strand and going to Fish's Eddy with Frank and going to Big Gay Ice Cream. Big Gay Ice Cream.
You walked me to Big Gay Ice Cream that one day. First of all, an incredible day. Was it maybe
I don't remember
4
any
miles?
of these things.
You don't remember us walking?
No, you have a lot more of these memories than I do. I don't remember most of this.
I remember walking from Penn Station all
to
the
the
way
West Village.
to the West Village.
That's fine.
Again, for me, that was a lot of miles.
Yeah.
I didn't know where the hell I was. I'm
Yeah,
usually
you
in
would
Times
always
Square.
you'd be huffing and puffing behind me, pissed off.
I'm like,
and I'd be like, it's just a couple more blocks, and it'd be 25 more blocks.
I'm in my slide-on Crocs that are lightweight as hell. It's probably the winter.
None of this timing wise makes any sense.
This
The
is like
Crocs
high
were in
school.
high school. No, we were never doing that in high school. This was college. That's why I'm so confused.
When we were
about the
doing
whole
Rin
pitch.
Weaver?
Yeah, that was 2015.
That was
2015.
college?
Yes.
Oh, geez, I blacked
That's
out.
what I'm saying. The timelines don't make sense in this
Oh, I
episode.
thought
thus
this was
far.
high school.
No, we never went into the city alone in high
College.
school. Yeah. I only went into the city alone in high school with Sarah, and it was, again, James Franco signing Palo Alto in the Union Square Barnes & Noble, and he did evict me from the premise.
I
He
can't
said,
believe this.
quote unquote, James Franco looked me in the eyes and said, you need to leave.
You should have said the same thing to his face.
I wish I did. I wish I
He
did.
deserved that.
He deserved it, and he still deserves it.
To this day, yeah,
To
for
this
sure.
day, I would love to tell James Franco that he's the one who should be leaving the Barnes & Noble in Union Square. Mm-hmm. And said it was me. But it was my royal era.
Did
so
you
I
like
thought
the
it was-
book?
Honestly,
Honestly.
I think I really liked the book at the time, but I loved the movie.
Okay.
Emma Roberts.
What can't she
And she's
do?
like sad in it. You know I love
You,
that.
you love sad. What we've gathered from this entire season.
I have a
is you love
melancholia.
sad.
Yeah. Long Island Railroad. Taking that was always a blast. That
Taking-
made me want to. myself like in a different way.
When the conductor would come up to you and ask you for your ticket,
hot ass conductors.
I'm like,
those terrifying, bigot, scary MAGA ass heartthrobs
with good benefits.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you're looking up at them. They're the scariest looking men, but they're all so insanely hot.
yeah.
What's that about?
I actually could not.
What are they
tell you.
feeding the
Something
Long
in
Island
that
Railroad
hat,
conductors?
in that little fit that they had,
Those like tight
they're
pants.
like tickets. I'm like,
yes, daddy.
I'm like literally
Whatever you
scream
want.
at me. I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm a fucking faggot. Yes.
They're like, yeah, it's actually peak. I'm like, oh my god. They're like, it's gonna be another $7.
And you're like, I honestly can't spare that.
I'm so sorry.
Again, it comes back to Royal here. I do think Royal and New York are integral in my life because I got into the city. I would like start going in with my dad to his office just so I could like post an Instagram of like the city skyline and like make people think that maybe I was like living in an apartment in Manhattan. And like that's what I did for like
everything
years.
you did was to make other people believe that you were doing.
Yeah, it's called
something
manifesting. Again, it was the Royal era. I was wearing like Pink Floyd shirts and like watching that 70s show, and like I would like buy a Led Zeppelin shirt and like memorize an entire album of Led Zeppelin titles just in case someone tried it and was like, name 3 Led Zeppelin songs. I would like name the whole album.
You to me with my Fleetwood Mac shirt.
Well, yeah, fucking grow up. Name 4 Fleetwood Mac songs.
Why are you upping it to 4? You literally just said 3, and now you have to up it to 4 for me?
Yeah, just name 3 then.
I'm like,
3 Fleetwood Mac songs. You wear that shirt 6 times a week.
I'm sustainable.
That's amazing. Name 3 Fleetwood Mac songs.
Okay. 1 is Landslide. Thank you. 2 is
Don't look for help.
I'm literally not even looking. Landslide. There's another one that's so good.
So you're at 1. You're at 1. You can name 1
Dreams.
song.
Dreams.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh my god, I'm sorry that was guttural. And then the third one is it's on the tip of my tongue. I'll get back to you at the end of the episode.
I'm not going to forget. And I will get back to you.
And nor should you. Literally,
how could I possibly? Because that's haunting.
Nor should you.
3 songs by Fleetwood Mac is all I'm asking. You would like come home and I'd be like, we're going to the city. And you would have to go shopping to get dressed for the city.
Because I never felt cool enough next to you in the city.
That's so funny. Is that really what it was?
It really is what it was. I was like, Joe's gonna come in this outfit to stunt in the city, and I'm gonna look like an actual loser to everyone in the city. So I need to go to Marshall's stack. And I would get to Marshall's. I actually
buy like a button-down shirt.
Yeah, I cannot forget this story because when we were, I'm going to say Red Weaver 15 times.
Yeah, if you guys don't know who Red Weaver is, you're missing out on a lot of historical context for our lives.
Listen to Pierre right now. Listen to Octahate.
Pierre like had a TikTok moment, so people might know Pierre.
Octahate, I feel like that's her big
the
one.
Fool.
The Fool.
Yeah.
Anyways, we are going to the Red Weaver concert. Joe's waiting for me at the train, I almost feel like.
Yeah, like the Huntington or something.
I'm coming from an event. I'm coming from like a family event.
Yes.
I'm like, Dad, I don't know what to do because I'm going to a concert and I cannot wear this. Like, I don't know what to do. He's like,
you think
okay.
you were like vineyard vined up?
I was absolutely
Triple V'd?
Triple V to the core.
Yeah.
I was like, Dad, we have to go to Marshall's. So he drives me to Marshall's. I'm like, I have an image in my head of what I want to wear.
What did you see?
Honestly, what I was looking for was like some sort of like cute long sleeve shirt with a short, like or maybe a jacket. I think I was looking for a jacket. Anyways, we go to Marshall's.
Can I bring up really briefly?
I'm going to tell you what I wore.
Yeah, hold on that. Do you remember what you wore to my graduation party?
Your graduation party?
Was
College?
that No, when you wore the green jacket with the sequin sleeves.
No, Joe, that wasn't your graduate. That was New Year's Eve.
It was my graduation party. It was like January 7th. It was January 6th. It was at the Capitol.
Wasn't it themed New Year's Eve?
It was themed like something. I think it was
Glitz and glamour?
Glitz and glamour. Yeah, no, I just think that you did wear like a sequin sleeve jacket to that one.
I absolutely did. And again, my thought pattern there was glitz and glamour.
And you said
I saw
both.
that. I went shopping with my mother, and
you
I
in
was
Marshalls?
like, yes.
I can't imagine what Carol was thinking when you picked up that fucking jacket and we're like, I need to wear this to Joe's face.
And it was obviously in the women's section.
Yeah, for sure.
I was like, Mom, I need this jacket. And and look, it goes up and it goes down. That
Oh yeah, was it the
toned
mermaid sequin
glitter.
vibes? Yeah.
Love that shit. Live for that shit. Yeah, I mean, like, if you have pictures from that, I would love if you can show it.
So much. I would only throw parties to take pictures. I have so many pictures of
We
that.
had that backdrop.
But yeah, you got dressed up for that one. But please go back to the Marshalls.
So back to that story.
So
Went
you're
to
like, I
Marshalls.
have to dress really cool. I'm going to go to Marshalls.
Yeah, and then and in these situations when I'm crunched for time, what happens? I get stressed.
Right.
So now with my dad stressed as hell, being like, this isn't it. We had to go to a TJ Maxx. So we went from Marshalls to TJ Maxx.
Didn't you lose something in a parking lot?
I lost the shirt that I bought at the TJ Maxx. We went back to the parking lot. We could not find the shirt. Now we're approaching about 20 minutes until the train takes off. I'm like, I actually am not going. Like, I have to text Joe that I can't go. And I know that Joe is going to be so fucking mad at me. So I was like, Dad, go back to that Marshalls. I saw a button-down shirt. I'm going to wear that button-down shirt. And I wore that blue short-sleeve button-down shirt. And I made it to the train.
Wow.
And thank you.
I went through a phase where I would like be out with like Sarah and Frank and like be walking around the city, and if I felt like my outfit did not service me in the way I wanted it to, I would tank the day. I would ruin the vibe.
You would tank the day?
Sometimes start fights that to this day I think Sarah and Frank know what I'm talking about, like fights that almost ended friendships. I think I ran away at the Ingrid Michaelson concert.
No, you didn't.
It's the gayest shit I've ever heard. And none of us were out. Me and Frank were straight. Me, Frank, and Sarah at the Ingrid Michaelson show.
Oh
and I remember getting so mad at Frank for some reason. And like, again, it was because I had like an outfit on that I didn't like. And I felt so self-conscious. And I was like, the only way I could get through this is if I leave.
If I run away.
And I literally out of nowhere just got up and left.
And
they were like, where are you going? And like Sarah chased after me. I was like, leave me alone. I'm going to Chipotle.
You actually are the dramatics of it all.
I am Lola.
Really is Lola.
That's
It's
why that
Lola.
movie. That's why she's on my wall, because it literally, that movie is such a representation of exact. Her name's not Lola. Her name's not Lola.
Oh,
she changes her name to Lola.
Yeah. Mary. And what was the friend's name?
Ella and Lola.
Ella and Lola.
Yeah, Lola's name being Mary. We're Ella and Lola.
We really are.
Like to a crazy point.
And again, they're going into the city to go to a concert.
Yes, and Lola's like, I'm gonna marry Stu Wolf.
And I'm like,
and she's like, and she lies. That movie's so us in a
their
crazy
outfits.
way. Yeah, they get changed on the train. She tells all the kids at school, she's like, yeah, I know Stu Wolf.
Yeah.
My dad works for Stu Wolf. And ultimately she gets what she wants. Stu Wolf does show up because she is a master manifester and she's a mastermind. I think if you guys wanted to watch a movie that probably feels extremely accurate to like what the Good Children TV show would be, I would watch Teenage Drama Queen. And just to replace the characters with us. I think it probably is a perfect example of it.
Yeah.
Remember Rice to Riches? I would go to Rice to Riches tonight.
I don't want to hear these bitches say that they don't like rice pudding. Grow up.
Literally, it is genuinely any person who has one bad thing to say about rice pudding literally needs to seek an education in some capacity. Seek some form of certification.
And listen, I don't process dairy well, and that's on me. That's literally on me. But if you have 33 different variations of a rice pudding in front of my face, I'm not going to be like,
no.
That's disgusting. I'm going to get the medium size, and I'm going to ask for strawberry sauce on it.
And sometimes it's like, sometimes you do need a bowl of what I think is literally just sugar, rice, and milk.
Yeah.
Like sometimes that's exactly what the body is craving.
It's comfort food.
And so many people have shit to say about rice pudding. I feel like a major part, and we've kind of touched on this a few times, a big part of like growing up queer, and I guess also growing up fat, or just growing up as something that you didn't want to be, was like the complete ideation and like crafting of who you thought you were going to become. And I feel like that was like Royal was my vessel for like becoming who I felt like I was always meant to be. And that's like Teenage Drama Queen is like, again, like Mary becomes Lola because she's like, I need to become, like, I know I'm destined for greatness. You know, I'm destined for this big thing.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that feeling of feeling destined for something. But I think that like a lot of gay kids see that, like, want that, or like visualize who they could become. And like for me, throughout my entire childhood into high school and into college, I was like, whenever I considered my future, I considered myself always thinner, always with a beard, always living in Williamsburg, like always an influencer of some sorts, like doing all of the things that I'm doing right now. And it's interesting because it's like, it wasn't a far reach in my life. Like none of those things were, again, I grew up 45 minutes away. I literally like, I did not have much struggle in life that would take a huge obstacle to get to where I am right now. But I'm like, this is like, I'm currently living like my childhood dreams.
Yeah.
I mean,
and through you, like, you don't have to be a character of who you wanted to be, like the Royal or the Lola or the Lady Gaga. Like, you are living your dream through yourself.
Which is kind of interesting. It's kind of really, it's like it's a validating moment. And it's also nice because I think a lot of, and this is like a bad side of it, I feel like a lot of who I wanted to be was just in rejection of who I was. Like, I just wanted to be skinny. I wanted to feel hot. I wanted to like be all of these things that I wasn't. And now I'm like, I actually get to be all of the things that I am and still have all the things that I wanted. And that's kind of crazy.
It is really crazy. I do think that is a pretty like centrifugal to the queer experience. Like, again, going back to the thinking about who I wanted to be, whether it was Drew Martin, Drew Paul, all these things, like, again, thinking like, oh, if I was to be famous or if I was to do this thing, like, I have to go through a different name or I have to be somebody else because, again, it was a lot of rejection of, at that time, who I was.
Right.
But now at a point that we're at or whatever, and everyone has could have the same experience of just like leaning into it, being like, that's who I am. I am Andrew Muscarella. You are Joe Hegyes. And this is us.
And this is Good Children.
And this is Good Children. Yeah. Really crazy.
It is kind of really crazy. It's kind of a full circle moment. Really quickly, some housekeeping information I feel like we should talk about.
This actually is our last episode.
No, it's not.
No. Okay. I
think that it's not. No. So
we have some news.
And it's with, honestly, I'm not going to lie, it's not with a heavy heart. I'm actually really excited. We're taking a slight break from the podcast. It actually feels like we are like actually ending something serious.
We're just letting you know that we're ending the season soon.
We're so excited for season 2.
We're so excited for season 2.
We're going to take a break in December. And we'll be back in the new year, but we just wanted to let you guys know, like, get prepared, like, stock up on an episode. Maybe don't watch the if you need us that badly in December, like,
just rewatch,
or Patreon will still be going strong.
Patreon will be popping off, but December's going to be a really great month, especially for you. You need a massage.
I need a massage.
You need someone to massage those wrists. You know what I mean?
Because you're
so limp. And, like, it's just, like, you're always typing. You're always doing the little editing. You're always doing these things. And, like, someone needs to take,
like, fully taking the break to
account.
edit another podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, truly.
So it's actually
on those hands.
I should get insurance in general.
Yeah, actually.
That's just important to me. We'll be back in the new year, and we next week, this is your last chance. This is the last time you're gonna hear us talk about this shit, so fucking listen up. November 22nd at the Bell House at 10 p.m. Good Children Live, The Late Show.
Yes.
You don't want to miss this because we are giving away 14 unique items from the Good Children universe, including this goddamn chair.
And it's not because we're desperate. It's because we want you to have these items.
We literally
love you. So please come to that late night show. Tell your friends. Tell your significant others. Tell your
bosses.
Tell your bosses to tell their teams at work.
Maybe skip Thanksgiving this year if you need to. Like, it's kind of worth it because you might take home the chair. You might take home a Midnight Spinal. You might take home a Tony's Chocolonely. You might take home a custom Tums. One more little moment, I guess.
Please.
I'd like to say fuck Rose's Pizza. Thank you. Thank you.
On spot.
I've been thinking about this for a long time. I've been struggling with this story and the right way to tell it for now 3 years. So it's it's 2019. I'm at a point in my life where I'm getting like really fucked up at like Jekyll and Hyde's restaurant, which is a novelty themed restaurant in the West Village that is themed around just like being spooky and like being a little bit like there's like animatronics and there's skeletons, and me and all my friends, any Friday night, any Thursday night, you could find us getting smashed at Jekyll and Hyde's. The drinks are $25 plus. They're some of the most disgusting cocktails you'll ever have. It is a tourist situation. The food is abysmal. The atmosphere is actually terrifying, not for the right reasons. When you're drunk in that place, the bathrooms are behind bookshelves. Imagine me slamming my hands on the bookshelves trying to find one that would get into the bathroom. It's all too much.
I've never been, Joe.
Oh, we should go. You guys, we're going tonight.
All right, let's do it.
Jekyll and Hyde closed. It closed in June.
I'm hanging out with a puppet. Arwen's there. Arwen's coming to every single thing we're at. So like, imagine this is the vibe. Like, it's pure chaos. We go to. I'm wearing a gorgeous fringe jacket. We're in Penn Station. We're headed home. There's like 6 of us. I say, you guys, I'm gonna get us a pie from Rose's in Penn Station. I'm gonna order us a pie because I'm a giver like that. And it's the Leo in me. And
you want to feed. You want to feed.
Oh, I thought you said feet.
You're like, you're gonna bring up feet.
I'm a feeder and a gainer. Yeah. I go into Rose's. I say, can I get a plain pie? They say absolutely. They're checking me out. I am like, okay, whatever. I'm like tapping my card. I look at the price, $92.50 for one pie of pizza. For one pie of pizza.
Joe,
I already tapped my card.
What did you do after that? Because I think I remember. Were you gonna walk up?
Okay,
I'm sorry.
No, we're gonna do it.
So good.
This is my moment. This is what I would say the bravest I've ever been in my entire life. So I am like, hold on, I'm going to pay $100 for a pizza right now. I like someone who a waiter could walk up to me, spit on my plate and serve it to me, and I would give them a 30% tip. Like, I'm not going to complain.
No.
I say, does this say $93? And the guy's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, he thinks I'm so fucked up right now that he's going to try and charge me fucking $100 for a pizza. And I guarantee you, and I'm speaking to the masses here, Rose is coming back to Penn Station. I'm here to put a stop to it because I guarantee you that they were doing this every single fucking night.
We're going to
trying to charge people who were like blacked out $100. So the next day you wake up and you're like, how did I spend $100 at Rose's Pizza last night? Like, I wasn't thinking. No, they're literally actively preying on drunk people. Luckily, I was not that drunk. And I said, I am not paying for this. And he said, you already tapped your card. I said, cancel the order. And he said, can't do that. And I said, I'm not signing. He kept trying to get me to sign the receipt. And I was like, this is void unless I sign this receipt. I'm not signing the receipt. I will not pay for this pizza. He gets so fucking pissed, rips up the receipt, voids the order, and is like, go. So what did I do? I walked straight up to the National Guard.
As you should.
I walked straight up to the men in uniform. This is what they
learned in their training.
I said, if someone's going to handle Rose's Pizza, it is the
National
Army.
Guard.
It is the Army. I am walking in my fringe jacket, running to the Army. Rachel had to physically stop me and say, don't get the Army involved. Don't send in the troops to Rose's. But they're coming back to Penn Station. I will get the Army involved this time.
Of course I
want to be the figurehead for this. I want to end Rose's Pizza, or at least I want new management.
My New York experience was Ellen Stardust Diner. And
you went?
Joe, I went multiple times.
When and with whom? With
my family. They would always take me to Ellen Stardust Diner, and I would see those waiters on that table, and I would say, that's gonna be me.
Weren't you like gonna audition last year?
I applied last year. I couldn't actually get to the application process because I couldn't bring myself to lie on my resume.
Oh, come on. I've been lying on my resume since the day I was born.
I just wanted to sing a little bit.
You should have fucking lied. Just lie a little bit. People who don't lie on their resumes, what are you doing? Every job I got through lying.
I guess if you lie on your resume, and this is horrible advice, but if you lie on your resume and you can justify the fact that you can do that job, then it's totally fine.
I was applying to jobs with 5 years work experience at 20 years old and lying and getting the jobs. I should not have been working at BuzzFeed.
All right, fuck it. I'm gonna work at Ellen Stardust Niner.
I was the youngest employee at BuzzFeed. I was 21. I was working at BuzzFeed at 21. I had a job that required at minimum 3 years work experience. No one stopped me.
No one stopped you.
No one stopped me.
They're like, Joe, you're 21.
Some tips for everyone, really briefly. If you're in college, if you're about to graduate, do not put the year you graduated on your resume. Never do that. And don't put any years that would date you. If you have an internship, feel free to remove the word intern on that. And if they bring it up, say, oh my God, yeah, I was an intern. Lie. Pretend to be older. It is the opposite of the Hillary Duff Sutton Foster show Younger. Pretend to be older. It will benefit you. As long as you can back it up with the skill. Pretend to be older. There's nothing illegal about pretending to be 25 when you're 21.
All right.
I've been there, done that.
You've inspired me.
And now I'm 16, so everything's really turned around for me.
We actually are 16. But anyways, starving. Open up that double B big barrel.
Why is it like making me horny?
Yeah, why are you like rubbing it?
I don't know. Like I'm
you're like smacking it a little. Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay.
Whoa.
Our snack of the week is Scooby snacks.
Yes, I used to love.
Fuck these up.
I was gonna say that, but I used to have these all the time in that. Again, in your little Ziploc bag, the snack size that were always too small.
Yeah.
When I got upgraded from the snack size to the sandwich size, to the gallons.
The superior Scooby snack is the gummies.
Yeah,
that have the
blue ones,
the crystal blue Joe Alwyn eye blue Scooby snack. These are just a couple of graham crackers. They are dog treats in every capacity.
Why were we eating dog treats?
Because it's cute.
I guess it is.
It's just a graham cracker.
No. They're phenomenal. It's not just a graham cracker.
These are made to dunk.
Made to dunk because they're so crispy on the outside. They're almost crystallized. Mm-hmm. There's a glaze on them.
There's a glaze.
And they're so crunchy.
Uh-huh.
I would put this in milk and I would.
Yep. Oh my God, what were you just doing?
You know what? I'd mash it up.
Scooby-Doo, I'm just going to say it. And you get upset when I say this.
I'm so nervous.
Fred Jones, gay.
Yep.
Daphne Blake, gay. Shaggy Rogers, gay. Velma Dinkley, gay. Scooby-Doo, gay. Scrappy-Doo, gay. The Luna Ghost, gay. Every single character in Scooby-Doo is gay, and I'm not quoting myself. I'm just being true. Like, you can't look at any member of the Scooby Gang and say that is a heterosexual person. It's illogical. It's
I'm not
illogical.
fighting you.
What group of straight teens are banding together to solve crimes in a little painted flowery van? And in what world is Fred Jones straight?
Sounds a lot like Williamsburg.
He's a twunk. Shaggy, I'll say it, bisexual. I'm sorry that I called him gay.
I agree.
Velma,
come on.
Absolute lesbian. And Daphne is also giving me bi. But I do feel like Daphne and Velma belong together. And I feel like Fred and Shaggy would hook up, but I don't think they belong together. And that's just my opinion.
Jealous.
Scooby's the gayest dog I've ever seen in my entire life. That's including Courage, the cowardly, who's also queer-coded.
Yes.
I'm just going to say it.
I feel like you are actually...
The gay agenda.
You are the gay agenda, and the right is coming for you, specifically.
I'm alt-right. It's time for
The Girls' Room.
How does one go about finding oneself? I feel like I've been lost for way too long and keep meeting the wrong people because of it.
I think, as cliche as it sounds, I found myself through watching an inner child, like, what was it?
It was like a guided meditation.
Meditation, an inner child guided meditation. And I'm not often somebody who cries, but when I was listening to it, my eyes were closed. I envisioned a lot of different things. It was a lot of workshoppy things, and I saw myself as a child. I saw what I wanted. I saw who I was, and I started crying because I was like, why am I straying away from that person? Because that person would not be happy with where I'm at right now. I need to pivot. If that goes with the people that I'm hanging out with, the people that I feel like are not helping me with like that journey that I'm supposed to be on, like that was the time for me that I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm finding myself. I'm figuring it out.
Yeah, that was a crazy day. I will say, in terms of finding the wrong people, I will always say, I mean, toxic positivity, like, I do believe everyone does enter your life to teach you some sort of lesson, like, good or bad. And, like, I don't think that you're, like, the path to finding yourself is windy. And, like, there are different steps you take and different places you go. So don't beat yourself up over the fact that you feel like you haven't been there. The fact that you can identify that, like, longing for it means that you do kind of know who you are or who you want to be. And I would just say, like, the more that you pay attention to the things that make you feel like a kid, is the more that you will literally find who you are. Yeah, tell me the third Fleetwood Mac song that you know. Andrew can't name 3 Fleetwood Mac songs.
That's so fucked up.
Right? Listen, I don't know it. And if what you want from this is for me to throw out my t-shirt, I will tonight.
No, I would never want. What would you? You wouldn't have clothes to wear.
Exactly.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the final episode of Good Children. It has been such a long, strange trip, to quote
really
Led Zeppelin,
has
my
been.
favorite band. And I am so sad to see us go, but
I am.
We'll see you next week for our next episode.
We will see you next week for our next episode, and we will have a theme for it.
We'll have an actual theme.
I think it came together.
It did come together, yeah. I think that this was a talky episode. Don't forget to do your homework and spread the good word.
Please.
And you're going to like, you're going to comment, you're going to subscribe. You're going to honestly buy a ticket to the live show even if you can't come.
You're going to
just
review.
throw that support. Review us 5 stars.
You know where to find us on all social media platforms, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at Good Children Pod. And don't forget to subscribe to our Patreon. When we do take that break, we're still posting on Patreon. $7 a month.
And we'll see you, ultimately, believe it or not, we'll see you next week.
Start spreading the news.
I'm leaving today. I wanna be a part of it. New York, New York.